This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. This video will be on my own personal YouTube channel. Thank you very much to everybody for taking time to join me in this video. It is, as always, very much appreciated. I hope you are all doing well, and I hope so far you are having a good week. What we've got coming up for you today, well, believe it or not, I do think it's Classic Week. This weekend, the 6th of December, is the first Classic in South Africa. I think it's called the Western Cape Guineas, something like that for fillies. So we need to take a look at that race, I think, and see if we can find anything. We're going to do one horse now. I don't actually know whether this horse is going to run or not, but it will be the first ever South African Classic Watch 26 possible to be done. It won a Grade 2 trial recently. We will be able to take a look at that, and then what I will do is later on in the week, in the lead up to the race, I will take a look, because I think there is one more filly that went off a short price favourite in the race that this horse won that I would also like to include, because I do think it was the best South African 2-year-old filly. It's just a matter of whether the horse is in the race or not. But before we take a look at the horse, where can people find all these horses? Well, classicwatch2026.great/site.net is where people will be able to find the 2026 incarnation of Classic Watch. You will see the site is still in its early stages. It's now got on it Australian trained horses and also New Zealand trained horses for the first time this season. We really are trying to improve our Southern Hemisphere coverage to include New Zealand and South Africa this year. You'll see there is also a sharing module on the site as well. So if anybody likes what we can see, then you will be able to share the articles as well on various social media and platforms. You can also email a copy to yourself as well. It's also got a list there of all the current pattern race winners that people can find on the site. The site has taken out 2 Australian classics already so far in Australia, but those races haven't made it on to the Roll of Honour yet. As we discover horses, the Roll of Honour will be added as the horses are put onto the site. So yeah, classicwatch2026.great/site.net is where people will be able to find these horses. One of which, if it does run, I do not know whether this horse is in the race either, is the South African trained filly, Princess of Gaul. A filly born in 2022, sired by Vercingetorix. You might be seeing me chance quite a lot of these. Vercingetorix is a good stallion out of a dam called Miss Marmalade, who herself was foaled in 2016 and as sire and as out of Duke of Marmalade, the old Coolmore horse that stood for a while in South Africa. Straight away, you'll be able to see the problem that we have with South African racing. It's very hard to track. You know, nobody seems to be tracking the horses what I would consider properly. This horse has won 2 pattern races, believe it or not, which I will show you in a moment. And the thoroughbred pedigree online thoroughbred database is not even telling us that the horse has ever ran. Yeah, so this is very tricky. We're in new ground here. It's very difficult. We've just got all I've got to do really is piece together what we can, and then try and work out what we think this horse might be able to do based on the limited information that we have. I mean, it's the first time I've ever tracked South African racing, and we'll do it all through this season, but it might be the last, because some of the horses are very, very difficult to track unless they win a pattern race. And then you can have some sort of idea of what you've got. But looking at the pedigrees, I mean, not the form. But you'll see there, Princess of Gaul down as not racing on the pedigree online thoroughbred database. I actually found this site today. The site is called racingandsports.au, racingandsports.com.au. So this is an Australian site. And it's sort of showing me the form for the horse, which is all good. Princess of Gaul, you will see the form there Princess of Gaul has raced 4 times in her career. She's managed to win 3 times in her career. She won the Group 2 World Pool with Race Coast Debutante Grade 2 race at 2-year-old. And she also came back and won the Western Cape Fillies Championship Grade 2 race over 7 furlongs on her most recent start at KNI, wherever that is. Kenilworth, my mistake. You're going to get a lot of that. Yeah, not entirely sure what all these tracks are. That one is Durbanville, where it won at Greyville, where it won the 2-year-old race. Okay, and that one is Scottsville, Durbanville. So the horse has won 2 Group 2 races in its first 4 starts. And it has also managed to win first time out the 2-year-old maiden race at Scottsville. So we will take a look at those 3 races when the time is right. But before then, what I'm going to try and do is we're going to try and have a look at this horse. You'll see there that the form of it, you'll see it's had 3 wins out of 4 starts, 75%, and has currently won 638,282 South African Rand, which also doubles up as 53,721 Australian dollars. So they're not really racing for a lot, are they? Their currency is fairly weak, the South African currency, it's fair to say. But this horse is trained by Dean Kannemeyer out in South Africa. We can see it's a 3-year-old bay filly and it's owned by Alac Limited, whoever they are. So, interesting horse, I think. 3 out of 4. It's won a trial on its most recent start. So what can we assess with the pedigree? It's fair to say. We're going to take a look now at the next dam of the horse. The first dam of our horse, Miss Marmalade. You'll see a South African bred dam, born in 2016, sired by Duke of Marmalade, out of a dam called Pas de Basque, another South African bred dam who was born in 1999. Same problem again here for this 2016 filly. One thing we can tell you about this horse is the dam line. The dam line will never change whatever site we use. The dam line of Princess Gaul is dam line 1M. That's the interesting dam line that we're interested in at the moment. Nearly forgot to tell you that, didn't I? You'll see there again, no record of this form ever racing or breeding anything, even though the horse is bred a dual Group 2 winner. There's just no clues at all, which means that if people really want to look at these horses, they need to be opening the horses up and just clicking on every single horse that they see. You know, it's very difficult, especially when I can see that on this other site that we found today, Racing and Sports, that Miss Marmalade did actually race. Miss Marmalade raced 3 times in her career. She managed to win 1 race, a maiden plate over 5 furlongs at Scottsville in 2020. The horse never, according to this, ran in a pattern race, and it was the only time that the horse won. And the horse won 62,500 South African Rand, which equates to 6,300 Australian dollars. So, yeah, the horse did race 3 times, even though Pedigree Online Thoroughbred Database telling us it didn't. That's the trouble, you see. People really do need to check and double check everything. Again, because you see, when I looked on another site, there's this horse as well. King Dundee, a gelding, born in 2021, sired by the United States out of Miss Marmalade. So this is a half-sister to our horse. Again, no record of the horse racing whatsoever. But if you do check this race, you'll see that the horse actually did race. But the trouble with this site, racingandsports.au, is it wants people to sell their personal data to them in return for looking at everything, which I never try and do in these videos, because I would never encourage you to join these sites. People will see, if they look at this horse, though, that it has won some races. It's won 7 out of 10 starts and has placed another twice. And the horse has won 549,000 South African Rand, or 45,902 Australian dollars. If you check another site at the races, a British site, people will see that this has got a little bit of pattern race form. You'll see after we've logged in, it only shows you the first 5 runs. The pattern race form, you'll see there, it was second in a listed race in 2025, the East Cape Sprint Cup. Listed race placed there. And it was also a listed winner back in 2024. The horse won the listed Dahlia Plate for 2-year-olds at Fairview back in 2024. So this horse is a listed winner, has won 7 out of his 10 starts. King Dundee, 4-year-old Bay Gelding, trained by Gavin Smith and also owned by Mr. C.P. Murphy. But again, an absolute nightmare to track these horses. It really is. So we do know we've got a listed winner out relative to our dual Group 2 winner out of the first dam of the horse. We're going to take a look now at the second dam. Pas de Basque, a mare born in 1999, sired by Rambo Dancer, Canadian bred horse, out of a dam called Our Elegant Girl, South African bred horse, who was foaled in 1991. Again, with Pas de Basque in 1999, you will see that they're telling us that she is unraced. At the races, the English side had no record of this horse existing. So we had to go back to Racing and Sports to find out that the horse, after 13 starts, did manage to win 6 times and was placed twice out of 13 starts. And the horse won 167,275 South African Rand, which is equivalent to 22,371 Australian dollars. Again, it only shows the last 5 runs of the horse. Unfortunately, we're not logging in. You'll see that it's been running in mainly handicaps in its last 5 runs. It did win its last 2 starts at 5 in the handicaps. It won over a mile at Fairview in a benchmark of 90 handicap. And then it also won at Fairview again in 2004, over 7 furlongs in an 84 rated handicap. It also won there another 86 rated handicap, over 6 furlongs at Fairview again, but was listed placed in that one race. We saw the 10th for 15, in a listed race there. But it has been running in handicaps. We couldn't find any record. Couldn't see the first 6 runs of the horse. Don't know whether there was any pattern race form, but you can tell that it won. The world is telling us that it won a couple of handicaps. The third dam of our horse back in 2000. Second dam of our horse, back in 2004. Pas de Basque. We're now able to track some what I would call decent horses through this dam, Pas de Basque, and we're back on the site we trust, the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred Database. This is a half sister to our horse, Jetmaster. This one is out of. I think our first dam, of course, was out of Duke of Marmalade, as we know, and Pas de Basque out of Rambo Dancer. Halfway to Heaven, a mare born in 2007, sired by Jetmaster, South African stallion, out of Pas de Basque. This is a half-sister to the second dam of our horse. Listed winner, Halfway to Heaven, raced 18 times in her career, 7 wins, 1 second and 2 thirds. Winning 10 out of 18 starts in the first 3 for earnings of 439,708 South African Rand. This horse won some races. Halfway to Heaven. It won the Group 3 Fillies and Mares Prix de Cap at Kenilworth, and the horse also won the listed Off the Stud Handicap at Scottsville back in 2013. Group 3 and a listed winner. He's telling us there as well, multiple black type producer. And it gives us a chance to look really to ascertain the pedigree of our horse, I think, with these horses out of the sister to our second dam. So let's take a look at what we can find. Hawam, a horse born in 2015, sired by Silvano, German-based horse, out of Halfway to Heaven. Hawam raced 13 times in his career, 10 wins, a second and a third. 12 out of 13 starts in the first three, and the horse earned 6,769,775 South African rand. The horse is always also at stud, which gives us more clues through other sites. You'll see there in 2019 the horse won the Group 1 South African Classic. That might be a race that we're looking at taking out. For 3-year-olds over 1,800 metres, the horse won 2 Premier Champions Challenge Group 1 race at Turffontein in 2019 and 2020. The horse won the Group 1 Daily News 2000 at Greyville in 2019. The horse won the Group 1 Horse Chestnut Stakes of 2020 at Turffontein. The horse won 2 Group 2 races on the 2018 Dingaans at Turffontein and the 2019 Premier Trophy at Kenilworth. And the horse also won the Group 3 Tony Ruffle Stakes at Turffontein as well in 2019. Horse was second in the Group 2 Gore 10 Guineas of 2019, a race we will probably miss out unless it's been updated to Group 1 in the 6 years in the interim. And in the 2020, the horse was also third in the Group 1 Sunnet at Kenilworth Weight for Age race. Champion 3-year-old colt won the second leg of the South African Triple Crown of 2019. Don't know what those races are yet. Horses at stud in 2020 stands at Wilga Bosdrift in the Western Cape, South Africa. So this horse, very prolific, classic winner, owned by Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum. That's the yellow things, the yellow horses that Mike Kenilworth used to train for in Maidan. You know, they might be seeing some of these horses soon in foreign climes. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So Hawam, very good horse. We can take a look at his stallion record, courtesy of Emmy and Pedigrees. We'll see that the stud fee of the horse for Hawam is 30,000 South African rand currently. That's Wilga Bosdrift stud. You'll see that there's the clues that we ascertained. There's another clue coming up. Our Elegant Girl. We'll leave this tab open. In the meantime, let's take a look at the stud record of the horse Hawam. His first crop, 51 foals. In his first crop, 41 of them ran, and 14 of them won 15 races. No stakes winners suddenly at the moment. Only one crop has gone round so far at 2 and 3. You'll see there that the colts and fillies have won 8 races and the fillies have won 7 races. But there's no pattern race winners at the moment, and they've all gone round solely in South Africa, where 41 runners have gone round and have won 15 races, like I said. But as it stands, no pattern race winners at the moment. Read all about it. Has won a race at 2 and was third in the Turffontein Highveld Winter Juvenile Stakes. Read all about it. That's probably the best one so far, but very early days yet. I don't know whether Hawam will get any classic horses in our crops, but yeah, it's a very well-bred stallion, quite closely related to our horse. Princess of Gaul, it's fair to say. Decent horse, Hawam. We must remember to leave the Aryan pad open so we can come back to the clues that we need. Another horse that we can look at is Golden Ducat, a gelding born in 2016, sired by Philanthropist, American-bred horse out of a dam called Halfway's Heaven again. So this is a half-brother to the horse we just looked at. Golden Ducat raced 14 times in his career, 4 wins, a second and 5 thirds. So 10 out of 14 starts in the first 3 for earnings of 1,265,675 South African rand. This horse was a classic winner as well. This horse won the 2020 Cape Derby at Kenilworth. Horse also won the Group 1 Champions Cup, Group 1 at Weight for Age, and the horse also won the Group 2 Glorious Goodwood Premier Trophy, held at Kenilworth. Horse was also third in the Group 1 Daily News 2000, another race there that we might, I don't know if that's a 3-year-old race, I don't really know if it's a classic though. Also third in the Group 2 World Sports Betting Guineas, another Group 2 Guineas that we might have to skip on Classic Watch, that's held at Greyville, and was also third in the Group 3 Cape Mile at Kenilworth. Horse was also fourth in the Durban July of 2020, a Group 1 race held at Deauville. Greyville, sorry, not Deauville. Sadly, the horse gelded and not at stud, owned by Wilderbog's Drift and Moritz Fontaine. My knowledge of South African cricket will come in very handy in knowing how to pronounce a lot of these quite quickly, I think. Golden Ducat, quite a nice horse, it's fair to say. Derby winner. Rainbow Bridge, a gelding born in 2014, sired by another American-bred stallion, Ideal World, out of Halfway to Heaven. So this is the third out of Halfway to Heaven that we've looked at. Rainbow Bridge raced 26 times in his career, 11 wins, 7 seconds and 5 thirds. 23 out of 26 starts in the first three, and the horse managing to earn 8,295,625 South African Rand. Rainbow Bridge, another one owned by MC Gerber and Mr. and Mrs. MLP Rattray, bred by Wilderbog's Drift and Moritz Fontaine. You'll see there, this horse won some races as well. This horse won 2 Sun Nets, 2 Group 1 Sun Nets in 2019 and 2021. Group 1 weight for age race at Keeneland. The horse won the 2019 Champions Cup Group 1 weight for age race as well. That won the 2020 and 2021 Gold Challenge, another weight for age race over a mile. It also won the Group 2 Drill Hall Stakes of 2021. The horse won 2 Group 3s in 2018. The horse won the Winter Guineas, Group 3, Winter Classic, Group 3, and the Matcham Stakes, Group 3, both held at Kenilworth, the first 2, and Durbanville. The horse was also second in 4 more Group 1s, the Durban July, the Sun Net, the Champions Cup of 2020, and the Queen's Plate of 2021 over a mile, and was also third in 3 Queen's Plates, the 2019, 2020 and 2022 Group 1, and was also third in the 2019 Rising Sun Gold Challenge at Greyville in 2019 as well. This horse won the first and the second leg of the Winter Series of 2018. There might be those 2 Group 3 races, but we only do Group 1s here. So, yeah, very interesting horse though. Rainbow Bridge won some races, it's fair to say, at the level we're looking to win races at with this filly, Princess of Gaul. Got another stallion to look at now, Celestial City, a colt born in 2018. Another one sired by Silvano, a German horse, the same horse, out of a dam called Halfway to Heaven. So this one is related to the other stallion we looked at. Celestial City raced 15 times in his career, 5 wins, 4 seconds and a third. 10 out of 15 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of 392,250 South African Rand. Celestial City was second in the listed King's Cup over 1,600 metres at 5. And in 2024, the horse entered stud at Summerhill Equestrian in South Africa, which was related, quite closely related to Hawam, isn't it? So obviously there is a stallion tab as well for this one. Celestial City. You'll see there that the stallion summary of the horse, the stud record, the horse commenced stud duties in South Africa in 2024 for a fee again of 30,000 Rand, the same price as Hawam. And standing at Capital Stud, Summerhill Equestrian. That's a Clough one, and Halatakulu Road, I'm going to say that is, on the Moy River. So this one not a stud yet, it's fair to say, no horses on the ground. Very interesting that the first horse we've looked at on Classic Watch is already related to 2 up-and-coming stallions. It's almost like we're trying to set the scene to get on some of these stallions as well at the same time, isn't it? Really? So, yeah, no horses on the ground out of that stallion, Celestial City. We're now on to the third dam of our mare, I think, our Elegant Game. Yes, our horse, Miss Princess of Gaul. Our Elegant Girl is a mare born in 1991, sired by Al Casey's Boy, an American-bred stallion out of a dam called So Elegant, who is bred in South Africa in 1984. You'll see there again, bred by Montgomery Stud, but it's not telling us anything again. And it's very hard to find clues on this one. And you'll look, if we look at this down here, Princess of Gaul, Duke of Marmalade. I'll close the Princess of Gaul down, tab down. There was no tab for us to click on the next dam. After the dam we looked at, the last dam that we looked at on this site, which was the second dam. So the only clue I could find that this horse had done quite well, Our Elegant Girl, was one throwaway line on the dam section of Hawam, where it tells us that Our Elegant Girl won 3 times, and she was third in the Scottsville Ladies Mile, a listed race. So the third dam of our horse was also listed place. So the first 3 dams of our horse have all got listed form. It's quite hard to track from there on. You see not many other clues on Arian for our horse. But yeah, the first 3 dams of our horse, they are definitely what they are. Decent enough horses. You know, no, the second dam obviously didn't, did it? Sorry, my mistake. It was the first dam was a listed winner, and so the third dam was listed place, and Highways Heaven was out of them. That was the one that bred all the decent horses very close to our section. So we can close that tab down now. We're going to just skip through them because it was then really that the clues stopped drying up, really, that I could find. Take a look at the 4th dam of the horse, So Elegant, a mare born in 1984, sired by Downtown Charlie, a British bred horse, out of a dam called Spez Royale, who was a New Zealand bred mare, born in 1974. Again, no record of anything really that is coming down to ours. So not really much to we can tell. There's just nothing. The website's not giving anything away. The horse bred by Vast Fontaine Stud. Maybe if I can find the Hawam tab again, we might be able to see if there is any more clues on the dam section. You will see the 4th dam, So Elegant. Oh yeah, she did win. She won a race at a mile in South Africa. She is the dam of 6 foals, 5 to race, 2 winners, including the 3rd dam of ours, Our Elegant Girl. So the 4th dam did win a race, So Elegant, but again, it is telling us very little. The 5th dam of the horse, Spez Royale, a mare born in 1974, sired by Kazakhstan, a British bred stallion born in 1967, out of a dam called Spez, who is a British bred mare, who herself was also born in 1967. Again, telling us absolutely nothing apart from the horse was sent to South Africa. You know, all this is not by accident. They don't want you to. The racing industry has always made it very difficult for people outside of the industry, namely myself, to keep track of it, and that's why they're just. It's a bit like the story of Osiris, isn't it? You know, they chopped him up into pieces, and the wife had to go and find him, look for all his pieces. You know, it's very much like this. Horses are very much like Isis and Osiris. If people are familiar with that story, you know, then they will know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, we've already looked at about 6 sites already to get to a grip of this horse. There will be no website that gives everybody the whole picture. You know, that's what the sport is like. So Spez Royale again, no, not really much given away from the 5th dam of our horse. What we can do, though, is we can, of course, go back to the old sites that we use, Family 1M. We can take a look at Family 1M on the historic site and see if that gives us any clues. And it does really hint at the historical soundness of our horse, I'm going to say. Because if you look, the 4th dam of the 5th dam of our horse, Kylo, who was born in Great Britain in 1931. She is actually a classic winner. Kylo won a classic in 1934. She's bred by Blandford out of Tabaris. They even track this horse. Look, Kylo, 12 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds and a third. 7 out of 12 starts in the first 3 for earnings of $7,210 US. You'll see that it's even going to tell us that the horse was second in the Beresford Stakes of 1933 as well, and first in the Irish 1,000 guineas of 1934. So we have got a classic winning ninth dam at the back of our horses. You'll see that it does fall off. Kylo, the next dam after Kylo on our horse is Northumbria, and they're born in 1945. And you will see no sign of Northumbria on this little section. Now that is the section really. Couple of Swedish classic winners, an Italian Guineas winner from 1982, Rosa Nanti. Couple of Swedish Oaks and Swedish leisure winners, but never really used Sweden to make a case. One horse that is quite interesting, I suppose, is Ahanoura. Ahanoura, if you can see, if you go back far enough, is on the same line as this horse. Got Kylo and Tabaris. I don't know really how far we have to go back. Silver Tip, Tiptoe, and Lady Lightfoot. Let's go a bit further back to today, Tiptoe. So it's the next dam after Tabaris is Tiptoe, and that will get you directly on the, let's just call it the Ahanoura line, shall we? Ahanoura was a good horse, born in 1975, sired by Lorenzaccio, a British-based bred stallion out of a dam called Helen Nichols, who herself was born in 1966. You will see that Tiptoe, I think, was the sixth dam of the seventh dam of Ahanoura. Ahanoura raced 16 times in his career, seven wins, 7 seconds, and a third. 15 out of 16 starts in the first three for earnings of £486,589 UK pounds. Ahanoura won some races. It won the William Hill Sprint Championship Group 1. It also won the King George Group 3 Sprint. That's Goodwood, isn't it? Now Group 2. And it also won the Stewards Cup. So Group 1 and Group 3 winner. Horse was second in what was then Group 2 King's Stand, and what was then the Group 2 Sprint Cup, and what was then the Group 3 Temple Stakes. A lot of these races have been upgraded in the meantime. Third in the Bovis Handicap, got no idea what that race was. Retired to Irish National Stud, acquired by Coolmore for the 1988 season. Sadly euthanised in October 1989 following an accident in his paddock at Segenhoe Stud, Australia. His last foal was Tiara Lady in Australia. But you can see, people can see, if they look at a horse like See the Stars, they can get some idea of Ahanoura's stallion record. 463 foals, 318 of them ran. They won 204 races, and Ahanoura sired 42 stakes winners in his career, including the dam including the second dam of the sire, Cape Cross. The dam of Cape Cross, who of course is the sire of See the Stars. So 45 stakes and 42 stakes winners, sired by Ahanoura on this line. So it's fair to say, really, and there's the look, Kylo again. It's fair to say, really, that for a horse that was quite hard to track, I think it's fair to say that we've done quite well taking a look at this horse. So all we need to do now is close some tabs down to save on some CPU, and we can think about watching this horse win a few races. We can watch it win 3 times. We can watch it win on its debut on Sunday, the 29th of June. Then we can watch it win on the 27th of July, the Group 2 debutante race for 2-year-olds. And then we can watch it win on the 8th of November, the Group 2 Western Cape Classic at 3-year-olds. So let's watch those races now. This is the first race, and all these are courtesy of At the Races. You know, I'm going to try and get them from a different place at some point. Basically, the trouble I'm having is I can't list the races 1 to 11 numerically on any of the English sites I use. So I'll just try and grab the races as quickly as I can. I do know the codes for a lot of the South African racing, but I need to know the race number as well. And it doesn't show them apart from on At the Races. So that is one place I might be able to grab them from. But then again, they have the races there in the first place. So let's see how they play before we make any judgment long term. This is the newcomers race, won by Princess of Gaul last year at 2. Let's see what we think.
1100 metres, flag from behind, they sprinting away from the 1100 metre marker. And one of the first out, What a Passion on the left and Wish Upon an Angel on the stand side. Perfume Power is very quick with the blue sleeves. They are followed right on the inside, Princess of Gaul, the red sleeves and cap. Behind that one is Sally Port. Towards the stand side is Cinnamon Coffee, Snuvaki's further back in the run. And then comes Freda's East Coast Girl and Light of Gabriel, many lengths off them on the stand side, 7 or 8 lengths off the leader. Perfume Power on the stand side and Princess of Gaul on the inside, red sleeves and cap. Then What a Passion. Behind that Snuvaiki, the outside, Light of Gabriel's trying to get into the race. Just outside the 300 metre marker now. And Princess of Gaul now comes into the lead. And Princess of Gaul's going to take some catching past the 200 metre marker. And it's race over. I can hear Julius already doing his yodel as Princess of Gaul comes home, wins by 7 or 8 lengths. What a Passion second, Perfume Power third, Sally Port ran fourth.
Wow. That was a fairly routine victory, wasn't it?
From behind, they sprinting away from the 1100 metre marker.
Very interesting, this At the Races site. It seems to want to do its own thing and not give me time to recap the races. I think what we might try something else in the next South African video. Well, yeah, that for a debut performance was very impressive, wasn't it? From Princess of Gaul, scooted clear of the field and won the race as she liked. It's fair to say, definitely earning a step up in class at a two-year-old, which she gained on her next start in the debutante stakes, a Group 2 race. So let's take a look at that race, shall we? And see what we think.
6 1200 metres. Runners set and flight. Serengeti Sun a step or two slow to go and drops anchor at the back end of the field, a little bit fierce for the first 100 metres. Quick to respond was Hierarchy, head slightly up, but there goes Elegantrix on the outside, and Elegantrix with the white socks goes on by a length and a quarter towards the 800 peg. Mystical Miss is right there. There you can see how Hierarchy is tugging against the steel, mouth half open. A length and a half in behind the Silver City. Princess of Gaul scraping paint those red sleeves and cap 5 off. Kirchhoff gets a taste of the bit on the outside. Towards the inside, Let's Go Lola. Further back, Captain's Envy. Serengeti Sun's going to have to rise from there. 10 to make up. Infinity Edge on the outside. 300 out. Elegantrix and Gavin Larina the one to get a hold of. Kirchhoff's running on. Hierarchy. Princess of Gaul's putting it together on the inside. Princess of Gaul, Infinity Edge and Kirchhoff are flying on the outside. Any of 5. Princess of Gaul maybe. Maybe the one, Princess of...
Oh, now it just stops all of a sudden. You just cannot rely on this site at the races, can you? But yeah, very interesting performance there. What a close finish. Blanket finish there. You could have thrown a blanket over the first 5 in that race, couldn't you? The Group 2 debutante stakes. But it was our horse, Princess of Gaul, that managed to land the spoils, taking out the Group 2 pattern race, age 2. She then was beaten on her next start before coming back and winning the Group 2 race at the last race that she ran in, which was this race here. What we're going to take a look at. The trouble is, I can't remember the name of the races, and the name of the site is not telling me the name of the races that she won. You know, this is the sort of trouble that people can get into when they try and do a decent job. People have to open up this tab again. Princess of Gaul to try and get some racing information out of the world. But yeah, it's a very interesting video, this, because it just shows you the trouble people have in placing these things together. She was then beaten in the Group 3 Schweppes Diana Stakes on her first start at 3, before coming back to and running in the Group 2 Western Cape Fillies Championship over 7 furlongs again, on the 8th of November 2025. That is the race we can take a look at now.
Out of the stalls and conceded
and we will do that.
She's My World broke out well, Princess of Gaul, but Quick Step Gull around them, going to be positively ridden. A move up to take the lead towards the corner of the track. She's My World right there, tries to fend her off. Another Dance for Me races about 4 lengths away in 4th. Then comes Gimme What I Want. Kirkenoff is in the blue and orange colours just behind midfield. The Low Felt Lily half a length and behind. Electromagnetism is switched off, and the 2 deepest draws have dropped into last and second last. Wish List, 1 from last, and Stormwatch races 10 lengths off the leader at the 800 metres board, and She's My World free striding up in front by 2 lengths over Princess of Gaul in second. Then comes Quick Step Girl, Gimme What I Want at the inside of Another Dance for Me, and they race around 5 lengths off the leader. Further back to Kirkenoff, and then came Low Felt Lily. Wish List, black and white colours, went past Electromagnetism, and finally Stormwatch at the end of the field. They race 8 lengths from first to last. Homeward bound, little over 400 metres left to run, and She's My World brought them into the home straight. Princess of Gaul went to the inside. Then comes Quick Step Girl, Another Dance for Me for the first time in her career, came under pressure. Gimme What I Want, Kirkenoff 2 off the outside. They followed by Stormwatch getting into the race. Wish List as well. Princess of Gaul is the leader. She's a 2-length leader over Quick Step Girl. Low Felt Lily further back then towards the outside, Kirkenoff, but Princess of Gaul is too good. Princess of Gaul does the job. Second is a photo between Low Felt Lily and Kirkenoff, and next best Quick Step Girl.
Again.
Princess of Gaul wins the Grade 2 Western Cape Fillies Championship.
Again. I thought that was a pretty impressive performance, it's fair to say. The horse seems to be a good, strong travelling filly, don't she? You saw it. You saw evidence of that really on her debut. She only scraped home in the second win that we looked at, but they're back again, up to 7 furlongs. She looked a very strong travelling filly, didn't she? And I thought, really, she won that race with plenty in hand, really. The West Cape Classic, I think the race was called, wasn't it? Western Cape Fillies Championship, sorry, Group 2. So, is this horse a classic horse? I mean, I did read an article when I was looking at the horse that indicated that the Guineas might be an export of call, but until we actually see the entries for the race, there is actually no way of seeing whether this horse has actually entered in the Classic that is running on the 6th of December. If she does run in that or in any other Classic in the South African season, it's fair to say that she will deserve her place on Classic Watch 2026.great/site.net. The first South African horse and ever looked at on any of my resources. Let's see if we can make it a good one, can we? And maybe even take out a Classic with it. Right, I think I can leave this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody who has taken the time to watch it. I hope you've learned as much about South African racing watching this video as I learned about South African racing making the video. That's what it's all about. We all learn together and hopefully we come out on top. What I will do is I will leave you a copy of all the Classic Watch 26 possibles in a YouTube playlist. That way you'll be able to keep an eye on all the Classic Watch 26 horses that are possibles for the site in this early stages. All the Australian horses and the New Zealand horses are also included in that playlist. And I will also give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the channel. That way you will not miss any more of my content moving forward. That is what it's all about. Hopefully you will not miss anything. If you enable your notifications correctly and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, it will help you out. There is also my Patreon as well that you might want to take a note of towards the end of this video. It's called Newman Racing. Plenty of free stuff on there as well as opportunities to support me and do the right thing on our journey through horse racing classics. But for now, like I said, I think I can leave this video here now. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week and take care of yourselves and your loved ones. What have we got coming up? Well, we're in the midst now, really, of the winter national hunt season in the UK. I do think it's the 2 mile chases this week coming out, which means the Tingle Creek Chase at Sandown is probably the biggest race coming up in national hunt racing. But we'll have a look at the classics as well in South Africa. Don't know when the Colts run. And basically, we're going to keep an eye on the 2-year-old races and the Classic in Australia and New Zealand through the final month of 2025 as well. But for now, take care, everybody. Look after yourselves and your loved ones, and goodbye.